Hi, you guys. This is Misty with the Oracle Evolution, back again with another channeled message, and again with specific names. I'm going to start off calling names of specific people, and just keep in mind this is still a collective message. So if I don't call your name, it does not mean that the message is not for you. What it means is that for some reason the Most High is wanting me to call out these names, possibly to get their attention. They ask for specific confirmation. These people may still be a little bit confused as to, like, is the message really for me or is it not? And so those could be some of the reasons, or one of those reasons that I have their names specifically written down. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. The names that I have are Adam, Jaquan, Ferris, Katrina, Monique, Perry, Yolanda, Vincent, Caroline, Porter, Deontay, Daryl, and Patton. And remember, you guys, that the names that I'm calling, they could be first name, middle, last name. They could be a nickname or, something like that. But if you heard your name, you really need to pay attention to this message. Of course, hopefully everyone pays attention, but if your name was called, definitely listen up. I was also reminded or guided to let you guys know that the reading that I did, also there was a reading that I did on August 17th, and it's called "You Made the Right Decision but May Have Lost Sight of Why You Made It. Refocus." I'm being guided to let you guys know that you definitely, if you didn't watch that reading, please go back and please watch that reading, okay? Because that is a message that is connected to this one, and it's a message that you guys, need to definitely watch. I'm also being reminded of sorry, you guys. I'm also being reminded of a conversation that I had with a coworker today, and it kind of relates to the number pattern that I was seeing that kind of inspires this message. But basically, the coworker was talking about how the job that they had, it's not something that, it's not what they just really want to do in life. Basically, the conversation was like, it's a means to an end. And if you watch the message that I just talked about, for you to go back and watch about You Made the Right Decision, it's about that. It's about remembering that although you may temporarily be working at a location or doing something that is not necessarily your happy place, there was a reason that you decided to, accept that position or whatever. It was basically about it being a means to an end. So, this person also just kind of out of nowhere starts talking about, the importance of having multiple streams of income and, finding ways of like things that you like to do and, basically cashing in on it. And I really feel like a lot of this message is related to that. Also, I was drawn to, I'm here at karate, my 7-year-old, and there's like a prep center for, I guess they help with homework, and, they prep you for, like different tests or whatever. And the two words that stand out are act and prep. So you are being asked to make sure that you are working on your preparations for whatever this is that you're doing, and make sure that you're also taking action. Do not get stuck in a continuous cycle of just preparing, just working on prep work, laying, groundwork, but you're not actually doing the footwork. You're not actually taking the action. Okay. So again, the message was 414. is the number, if you want to look it up. But what was drawn to me, there are only certain things that are kind of drawn to me when I look at these numbers. And it's basically, whoever this is for, it's talking about whatever it is that you're doing for work. You are being forced to kind of coexist with other people, and you may feel like you're a loner. You may feel like that's just not for you. Like you're not really into being around a lot of people. When you're working, you're a loner, okay? A lone wolf, or, whatever you refer to yourself as. But keep in mind that being around other people and working with other people is just a part of life. It is inevitable. And even when, or if, or, whatever you are working with, the type of work that, like your dream job, or your whatever it is that you want to do, at some point, you're still going to have to communicate and work with other people. And so I'm being drawn to remind you, rather than focusing on what you don't like about that aspect of your job, use that as a way, just as to kind of help propel you forward, so that you're even more successful when you get to that point of, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. Yeah, take the lessons. And part of the lesson that you're actually being drawn to is you're being asked to clearly communicate. So if part of the issue is with you working with coworkers and that's not your thing, well, let's think about, why is this not your thing? What are your issues? What are your concerns that you're having at your job? And with the message that I received, it's about actually, I'm kind of being reminded of right before I pressed record. Again, I'm here at karate with my son, and someone comes out of one of the buildings and starts yelling across the kind of parking lot to another person in a car. And, they were having a conversation, but number one, rather it being a quiet, private conversation, it was just kind of, they were going, they weren't arguing or anything. It's just because of the distance, they had to yell, right? And so I couldn't press record because it was going to be in the video. So that was something that kind of kept me from doing what I felt like I needed to do. It was kind of a distraction for me. And so that may be, I'm being drawn to that because that might be something that you're experiencing in your line of work. Maybe you have people that, they're spending a lot of time talking or gossiping or something like that, and it's just distracting you. It's distracting you from your work, or even it's just something that you're just really not into, like you really don't like it. Maybe they're just like all huddled up around like your workspace or your office space, and it's just not something that you like or something that you're into. And so what you're being asked to do, what you're being called to do, is to make sure that you are clearly communicating what it is that you don't like to your colleagues. Like, don't sit there and just be upset or be mad about it. You have to actually communicate. You have to actually speak up, clearly let them know what it is that bothers you, because they can't change or fix what they're not aware of. Like for them, especially if you're the new person and this is something that they've always done, how are they going to know that it's an issue if no one has said anything to them before, if it didn't bother anyone before? And it's not to say that it's going to irritate them or upset them or they're not going to like you. That's not what that means. What it means is, the feeling that I'm getting is like they just are unaware. And once you make them aware, they might actually, I'm pretty sure they're going to actually understand what it is. So maybe they'll pick another location, or, or maybe they will, I'm getting tongue-tied. Oh my gosh, I'm getting tongue-tied. Wow, someone really does not want to speak up to their colleagues or to their coworkers, but you have to, okay? And that's funny because the next thing that I have on here is, what I wrote was, you may cringe at the thought of, this conversation. You may cringe at the thought of having to have this conversation with your colleagues, but keep in mind, this is going to be a temporary discomfort, okay? But it's going to have long-term benefits, right? You have to also focus on implementation and on taking action. I talked a little bit about that already. Rather than writing things down or just thinking about things, like that's part of manifesting, yes. But again, remember, faith without works is dead. So that's just another part of the message that you guys needed to hear. Faith without works is dead, because if you have been in the planning mode, you're still in the planning mode. It's been 6 months, it's been a year, it's been more than that, and you're still planning out things for your business, but you've taken no action or very little action. You're being called to start taking action on whatever this is that you've been working on. And that is actually the message that I have for you. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, this is Misty with the Oracle Evolution. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you liked it, if you loved it. And you know what? Even if you didn't, I love you. Take care. Bye now.